may have heard by now, we have avoided that so-called fiscal cliff for now.
It comes after a late night for the House of Representatives, which passed a Senate compromise of the bill that prevents tax hikes and deep spending cuts. But the deal does little to address the nation's long-term debt woes and does not entirely solve the problem of the fiscal cliff. Indeed, the last-minute compromise sets up a new showdown on the same spending cuts in 2 months, amplified by a brewing fight over how to raise the debt ceiling beyond $16.4 trillion. That new fiscal battle has the potential to eclipse the fiscal cliff in the coming days. So what do your elected leaders think about the legislation, and how does that affect you?
News Channel 9's Drew Bollea gathered up reaction and dug through some details to find out.
You're going to need a pen and paper because there's a lot of different provisions, some or all, maybe affect you. I broke down some of the numbers in the deal and also spoke with Senator Bob Corker to get his thoughts.
I supported the bill. I was livid over many of the provisions.
Senator Bob Corker says he did what he felt was best for the country at this moment, but wanted to see the debt ceiling and spending cuts addressed.
We were able to get the tax issue behind us and now move to the entitlement reforms that need to happen.
So here's what the tax issue includes. For all wage earners, your taxes will still go up. A 2-year-old Social Security tax break expired, so your federal income tax will increase by 2%. A person making $30,000 to $40,000 a year will pay an average of $445 more in taxes, and so on. For those making more than $400,000, your rates will increase by about $18,000. The bill also includes extensions for long-term unemployment for another year, a $1,000 tax credit for low-income families for each child they have, and there are also credits for married couples filing jointly and students attending college. According to Corker, tax reform is the easy stuff.
Trying to put in place entitlement reforms, which we have to do, is not that way. It's much more unpleasant.
He and other local officials are looking forward to working on spending cuts and the debt ceiling, which was missing from this deal.
Our nation is on a really, really steep negative slope, and candidly, I would have great despair if we don't do that.
Georgia's 9th District Congressman Tom Graves says if Congress does not work with more conviction to solve the spending problem, we may soon realize we're already over the cliff and in a fiscal freefall.
Now, we also received comment from Tennessee's 3rd District Congressman Chuck Fleischman, and he says that we have a spending problem, not a revenue problem. The bill sent back to the House not only allowed taxes to increase, but increased spending by $330 billion. It was simply something I could not support. So we can expect a heated debate over the next coming weeks and months as spending cuts and the debt ceiling still linger over Washington.
That story from Drew Bollea. Now, despite all the Capitol Hill chaos that led to the rare holiday session, Wall Street reacted positively to the deal. The Dow surged from the opening bell. Once the bill passed, President Obama promptly returned to his Hawaiian vacation.
The one thing that I think hopefully in the new year we'll focus on is seeing if we can put a package like this together with a little bit less drama, a little less brinksmanship, not scare the heck out of folks quite as much.
As we said, while Congress did avert the fiscal cliff, lawmakers actually set up 2 new deadlines. They put off dealing with automatic spending cuts and the debt ceiling, which could be far more damaging to the U.S. economy. We ask you on our Facebook page what you think of the fiscal cliff deal. Many people were unimpressed and some were quite angry. Jeff Davis says our leaders were once men of honor, but honor is dead in America. All I see is greed. Paul Prigmore says, I think that Congress, the Senate, the House, and the President should all have to take at least a 2% pay cut with no raises for the next 2 years. And Linda Moore says, both sides of the aisle guilty. Quit fighting each other and look at the real problem. You're welcome to weigh in. Just go to our Facebook page.